Today I'm going to be talking about Fallen, the film about a demon that turns normal people into serial killers by possessing them. Greetings and welcome to my channel, JJP Horror, Sci-Fi and Fantasy Corner. I'm your host, JJP. This is a movie that divides people due to how the movie plays out. I, for one, love this movie, but fully understand why some may not. If you've watched it, let me know in the comments below how you feel about the final outcome. And now for a bit of trivia. What film franchise starring Bruce Campbell does Embeth Davidtz appear in? Stay tuned to the end to find out. I know it's an old film, but spoilers ahead, just in case you haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Fallen was released in 1998 and was directed by Gregory Hoblit and written by Nicholas Kazan, with cinematography by Newton Thomas Sigel. Music was composed by Don Tan. The film boasts an amazing cast, starting with Denzel Washington as Detective John Hobbes, John Goodman as Jonesy, Donald Sutherland as Lieutenant Stanton, Embeth Davidtz as Greta Milano, and James Gandolfini, who many will know as Tony Soprano from The Sopranos, as Lou. The film follows Detective John Hobbes, who is a cop dedicated to his job, has a reputation for getting the job done, and for being squeaky clean. He looks after his nephew and cares for his brother, who has a disability. The film starts with Hobbes visiting Edgar Reese, played by Elias Koteas, on the night of his execution. A serial killer Hobbes has finally put behind bars. After a weird exchange between Hobbes and Reese, where Reese even speaks to Hobbes in an ancient Middle Eastern language, he is led to the gas chamber as he starts singing "Time is on my side." Unaware to everyone attending the execution, Reese is possessed by a demon, who then departs the now dead Reese and enters one of the prison guards. Soon after the execution, the killings start again, as the spirit possesses other victims, all the while toying with Hobbes by leaving him little clues here and there. Eventually, one of the clues leads Hobbes to Detective Robert Milano, a well-respected detective from his department, and to Milano's now abandoned and decrepit family cottage, where Milano committed suicide 30 years earlier, after having been accused of crimes he didn't commit. At the cottage, Hobbes discovers some religious books, and the name of Azazel, written on one of the walls by the late Milano, which had been painted over. Eventually, Hobbes' research leads him to the dead detective's daughter, Greta Milano, who is a theology professor. He tells her about finding the name Azazel written on the wall of her family cottage. She explains that the name Azazel refers to a fallen angel who, after being cast out of heaven, like the rest of the fallen, had been made formless as a punishment and could only continue to exist in the bodies of others, and that they could transfer from one person to another through touch. Unfortunately for Detective Hobbes, Azazel catches wind of Hobbes' discovery. He reveals himself to Hobbes at the precinct, getting his colleagues to also sing "Time is on my side" as he moves from body to body. Azazel begins to target Hobbes in the same way he targeted the unfortunate Detective Milano, even forcing Hobbes to shoot and kill an innocent man on a crowded street. Nothing is sacred as Azazel targets Hobbes' friends, colleagues, and even his family. Ultimately, Hobbes loses everything, as Azazel's assault on Hobbes' life strips him of his career, his good name, his friends, and his colleagues. But the biggest blow of all is discovering the body of his brother after having been murdered by Azazel as he slept in his bed, a scene which is heartbreaking. Eventually, it becomes a battle of wits between Hobbes and Azazel, with the final battle taking place by the old, decrepit cottage.
Come on out, you son of a bitch! Made me kill an innocent man, you murdered my brother?
As part of his research, Denzel Washington accompanied local detectives to prepare for his role. He learned that some of the officers kept a second pair of shoes in the boot of their cars while on duty, The reason for this would be that the shoes they were wearing would occasionally get blood on them at murder scenes. This research allowed Denzel Washington to give an astounding and believable performance as Detective Hobbes, who goes from being a man who is used to dealing with everyday criminals to a man realizing that he's up against a supernatural enemy he may not be able to defeat using conventional measures. This is a movie that will keep you on your toes as you watch Hobbes' life become a living nightmare. It's a supernatural crime thriller that is worth watching, in my opinion. Now to answer the trivia question. The film franchise starring Bruce Campbell that Beth Davids appeared in is the Evil Dead franchise, where she co-starred with Bruce Campbell as Sheila in the third entry of the original Evil Dead films, Army of Darkness. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. I have been JJP, and I look forward to discussing films and shows that we are all passionate about. Hope to see you soon.